Finally, after about 4 full days of trying to figure out how to make a rotisserie so that we can kind of begin the whole fabricing process on this plane project that we've been working on for a couple of years. I got on the internet, looked at some rotisseries that I found online, and we kind of modified what we thought needed to be better and made what we, or duplicated what we liked. So initially I wasn't going to tie the front and back together, but for safety's sake and turning the plane upside down, I didn't want the thing to fall and crush all the bird cage when we're halfway through the finishing processes here, and that would be very, very bad. So anyway, kind of wanted to demonstrate this. My dad, who comes up with some really unique designs, we had to make a stop to stop it in different locations, so he came up with this idea to use a Harley Davidson 24 tooth sprocket. And basically all you have to do is pull this pin, it releases, you turn it to your position that you like, and it'll lock. And then as you can see, the airplane has rotated. So basically with the 24 tooth sprocket, we have 24 positions to put this thing in while we're covering it. The unfortunate thing is I should have done this about 2 years ago when I began the welding, and instead of trying to be a contortionist and crawl in and out of all these different clusters that we had to weld on. Back here I came up with just some way of mounting it. It's going to have to change once we go to fabricating it, obviously, because the top part, which the airplane's upside down now, but the top part, there's a tube that slides in where the vertical fin's going to go. That's got to come out. And where the angle iron goes through right there is actually where Piper Aircraft used to carry these through the factory during the assembly process. So I went ahead and used the same mounting tube they had. Basically 2 lawnmower wheels mounted with 1 pivot tube coming off the back. Just rotates, keeps everything out of a bind. As you might have seen in the front, and I can go back and show you, but we used a universal joint off of a Leroy tractor my dad had, and that basically keeps the whole fuselage from getting into a bind. Trying to get all your angles and dangles perfectly level, next to impossible. So we have this universal joint that's mounted between the pivot and the firewall, which will allow flex and not put the structure in any kind of bind. So it should work great. So once again, thanks to my dad. That was incredible, and he's quite the engineer. So that's it.